Everyone, today we are going to learn about Indian monsoon, 3.5 climatic change, floods and carbon footprint, and also answer to this question, how the climate changes and floods interconnected, both how they are interconnected. See, heavy rain comes, then only the floods will occur. How do human activities make flood impact more severe? Because of our activities. What are those activities which are impacting the floods to occur? We are going to see in this chapter. So quickly run into the main content. Here we need to observe this map for the better understanding of the Indian monsoon, that we are going to please keep that in front of you and study. The Indian monsoon is a unique and important climatic feature that greatly influences India's weather and climate. This is the monsoon which impacts India's weather and climate. The term monsoon means the monsoon means the monsoon. Actually, it is derived from above. I have discussed in the previous video. Seasonal change in the wind directions. It is study of the wind directions. How it is impacting the rainfall over the country is what we are going to understand in this paragraph. In the early June, the low pressure conditions over the northern plains intensify, because the low pressure will occur in the northern India because of the overheat. They cross the equator. It attracts the trade winds of the southern hemisphere. High pressure will always, I already told you, high pressure will move towards the low pressure. It's a common phenomena. When the high pressure moves to the low pressure, it carries water with it, moisture with it. So those winds we will call the southwesterly directions entering into the Indian peninsula and the southwest monsoon. As I already told you, those winds are called the southwesterly monsoons. They bring the southwest monsoon into India. These winds blow over the warm oceans. They bring abundant moisture to the subcontinent. They are talking about India here. These winds are strong and blow at an average velocity of 30 kilometers per hour. With the exception of the extreme northwest, the monsoon winds cover the country in about a month. It will take 1 month time to reach into the northern India, extreme north India. The maximum rainfall of this season is received in the northeastern part of the country, that is called Mysore. Eastern part of the India, you will have this near the Meghalaya. Is the southern range of Kashi Hills receiving the highest rainfall. You can see in the down map here. Coming to the paragraph, rainfall in the Ganga valley decreases from the east to west. Rajasthan and the parts of Gujarat get scanty rainfall. By the time it reaches, the clouds reaches in these areas, the clouds will not be having that much of moisture to precipitate rain. So monsoon plays a crucial role in the Indian economy. Yes, it is obvious, and it is a lifeline of our nation. Obviously, India is an agricultural predominant country, and it is quite important to have the appropriate rainfall in the every year. A large part of our Indian agriculture depends upon monsoon only. The most farmers rely on the rain and irrigation. It also replenishes rivers, lakes, reservoirs and the groundwater. And it is essential for drinking water, farming, industry. Water is essential for our existence. Therefore, the success or a failure of the monsoon directly affects food production, water availability and overall economic condition of the country. As I told you, India is an agriculture predominant country, and primary, secondary and tertiary are interlinked sectors. So it is quite important to have the overall development of a country. Monsoons we need to have a great understanding towards it. Yeah. Now coming to distribution of rainfall. The distribution of rainfall in India is highly uneven. It is not same everywhere. The western coast and the northeastern parts of the India receive very high rainfall, over 400 centimeters annually. So northeastern parts of India are receiving 400 centimeters annually. In contrast, that means opposite to it, the western Rajasthan and adjoining areas of Gujarat, Haryana and Punjab receive less than 60 centimeters of rainfall. It is so huge in number comparison. If you see, very less rainfall over these areas, very huge rainfall over the northeastern parts, as I marked over here. And the table is also stating here that we will be seeing simultaneously. Rainfall is also low in the interior parts of the Deccan Plateau, because plateau is always on an elevated heights rather than the plains, and the east of the Western Ghats. Here are the Western Ghats. This is called, if the clouds hit these Ghats and started precipitating, this is called windward side. This is called leeward side of rains. So, because of these areas lie in the rain shadow region, this area is a rain shadow region where the clouds cannot reach, as it is, mountains are acting as a barriers, Ghats are acting as a barriers. The remaining part of the country receive moderate rainfall. Snowfall is mostly confined to the Himalayan regions only. Due to the nature of the monsoon, annual rainfall varies significantly from year to year, and this variable is greater in areas that already receives low rainfall, such as parts of Rajasthan, Gujarat. I have already told you what is leeward in the Western Ghats. As a result, regions with the high rainfall are prone to floods. Here, floods are very often, while areas with the low rainfall are more likely to be experiencing drought. See here, highest precipitation and lowest precipitation along with the colors has been given. Kindly observe. Now coming to the quick cam, give the characteristics and the effects of the rainfall, monsoon rainfall in India. See, seasonal reversal. The primary characteristics is a completely reversal of wind direction. In summer, it is a southwestern monsoons. In the uncertainty and variability, it is very often. Rainfall is highly erratic, arrives early, intensifies, leading to the city's flood or drought. Agricultural impacts very huge. Dependent on the monsoon temperature regulations, reliefs from the intense heat of the sun. The answer is for the summer southwestern monsoons we have to write. Why do the rainfall decrease from the east to west in the northern India? Distance from the sea. See, the winds will travel. By the time it reaches over here, the moisture of the moisture of the atmosphere will go down. So distance from the sea is one thing, topography is a second thing. This I would like to state. This one. Collect photographs of typical rural Kerala. You can see how the houses are, they will maintain hot and arid regions. Rajasthan also, you can see there will be a tank adjacent to it, so filled with water, so that the house will be cool. In that way, you can observe the Rajasthan and Kerala houses and collect the pictures and present it in the book. Now coming to the main topic called climatic change. Climatic change refers to the long-term changes in the average weather conditions of a region or on the earth as a whole. It is talking about the average weather conditions of a region. The long-term changes, if you observe in the average weather conditions, that is called as climatic conditions. Unlike day-to-day weather variations, which changes frequently, climate changes occurs over decades or centuries. It includes changes in the temperature pattern. These are very much important. With this only we will be understanding what is a climate change. The attributes to measure the climate changes: temperature patterns, rainfall distribution, wind system, and frequency of extreme weather events. Climate change is a serious global concern. As you know, it is quite important to maintain in the carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases, because it affects both natural and human life. It influences ecosystem. Number one, very quite important for the existence of the life on the earth. Agriculture, our dependency on the food and the water resources, survival, forest breathing, and wildlife and human balance, biodiversity to maintain. So all these factors matters a lot to maintain the climate intact. Many parts of the world are already experiencing the negative impacts of climatic change. That's the reason so many NGOs and the development of the greenery is through the great works it is happening very widely across. Climatic changes involves a rise and fall in the average global temperature, change in the rainfall patterns, more rain in some areas, less in others, increasing frequency of extreme weather events such as heat waves, storms and floods. Cause and effect action we will be studying right now. These changes do not occur suddenly. Instead, they develop gradually over a long period because of human activities. Because of this slow process, climate change may not always be immediately noticeable. It takes time on the earth. See, something has happened, it takes time to get reflected onto the human, but it affects because more visible and severe over time. Scientists study climatic change using the data of temperature records, glaciers, oceans and atmospheric gases. They have found that the human activities, especially the burning of fossil fuels, because of this human activities especially, the major climatic changes are happening and which are reflecting very slowly and very harsh on us. So effect of climatic change, if you see, climatic changes affects the earth in the several significant ways. Number one, irregular rainfall. Some regions experiences too much of rainfall leading to the floods, while others face drought. This affect agriculture, food production and drinking water. Some areas like here in this picture, drought due to the climatic, mostly we will be seeing in the northern India where the temperature is very much high. Impact of the plants and animals. Rising temperature forces many plants and animals to shift to cooler areas. Some species may become endangered or extinct due to the, when this is the condition, can any animal live in this place? It's not possible. So plant and animals will be having a great loss in their life. So it will certainly impact the human as well. So third, melting of ice and glaciers. High temperature causing polar ice and glaciers to melt and leading to rising sea level. This threatens coastal areas and small islands. Extreme wind weather events. Fourth point, there is an increase in the frequency and intensity of the heat waves, cyclones, storms and floods which are damaging the property and endangering life. These effects clearly shows that the climate change is closely connected to the atmospheric conditions. Human activities such as, what are these human activities which I am talking about always? These are the main things which are causing severe change in the climate. Deforestation, industrial pollution without treating the water, they will release it, and excessive use of the fossil fuels. In this way, the climate pattern, seasonal winds will affect hardly and creating a lot of trouble to the existence of the life on the earth. Importance of the climatic awareness we are going to understand. It helps us to make informed decision about our environment and future. Climate awareness enables individuals, communities. See, if one learns 1% improvement also will make a drastic change in the climate. So in that way, communities and the government to take responsible actions to protect the planet. First, recognizing environmental changes. First, we need to protect. We should stop doing deforestation. Global warming, it will increase. Once this happens, then the pollution will increase. There is no purification of the air, loss of biodiversity. This awareness makes people come alert to environmental threats. Second one, use resources responsibly. We should learn and we should teach, we should maintain regular habits to for the sustainable development of our life and to conserve these resources for the future. What are those things which you need to use very judiciously is water, forest and energy. This encourage practices such as recycling, reducing the waste and causing renewable energy, which will be useful for the next time. Coming to plan for the sustainable future. Climate awareness helps government and communities to plan for long-term development that does not harm the environment. It promotes sustainable agriculture, green infrastructure and policies that reduce the carbon emissions. We need to adopt this kind of atmosphere, habits, so that we can sustain and make our future also to live. Now coming to quick vamp here. Environment, for this, human activities contribute to the climate change. I already told you deforestation, industrial pollutions and all. Humans are also the ones most affected, yes. how can this situation be both a challenge and an opportunity for the society? Environmental system, strain, increasing frequency of the extreme weather destroys infrastructure and ecosystem. One thing, and second thing is economic inequality. Often lack resources to adopt, widening the gap between the wealthy and developing countries. Food and health and food also will get impacted if climatic changes continues at the current rate. What long term changes do you expect in human lifestyle and why? So dietary shifts we will take down to lab grown meat, we will go drought resistant grains, indoor vertical farming we will be learning. So it is all costly. Those changes in the life will be very impactful on us. Increasing heat waves will likely lead to the more indoor centric lifestyle, and also highly relying on the cooling infrastructure. We will be sticking inside itself because of the heat we cannot bear. Water recycling and desalination systems in every household becomes a common. So these are the things which I wanted to highlight over here. Coming to floods, here very much important thing is there. Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam. It has been initiated on 5th Jan 2024 by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He said that to plant a sapling on the name of a mother. It's about connecting that pure nurturing essence we feel for our mothers with the life-giving power of a tree. This powerful idea, so simple yet so profound. I hope you like this one and start doing it. Now coming to floods, very much important. We are going to cover this topic where is a condition where the water overflows onto land with a normal dry. Floods are closely linked with atmospheric conditions, heavily and prolonged rainfall. It happens when the rain is continuous and longer time. If that happens, that turns into the water overflow. This is a common in the river basins, coastal areas and low-lying regions. These are the regions where the rainfall is quite heavy. You can see in the diagram as well. The floods are the natural phenomena, but their impact becomes more severe due to the human activities such as deforestation. I already discussed in the above paragraphs. Deforestation, urbanization, building, cities. There is no place for absorption of the water on the earth's surface. They eventually flood. The roads will eventually run with the water. Construction of the flood prone areas, poor drainage system also will be there, where large population live near the rivers and low lying regions, and the floods can cause widespread damage to the life, property and agriculture and infrastructure. Causes of the floods. What could be the causes of the floods over here? See, Bihar floods we have seen in 2008, and also Uttarakhand flood, Chennai flood in 2015. So these are the examples. Kerala 2018. Like this, Assam floods 2020, Himachal Pradesh 2023. See, encroachment of rivers, lakes, climatic change for the drainaging system, dam mismanagement, improve waste disposal. These are all the reasons where the flood is very, threatening us. Heavy and continuous rainfall. Prolonged rainfall increases the rivers and lakes and reservoirs, leading to flooding. Overflowing rivers, that I am telling you, melting the glaciers, overflow of the banks and floods nearby the areas. Sudden reversal of water. Water from the dams, rivers and glaciers, lakes can cause a flash floods. Then poor drainage system, I have already discussed. In the urban area, it is very often that we will be observing too much of small roads. Drainages are blocked with the dust, and waste management is very poor. So that's the reason this sewage system prevent rainwater from flowing away, leading to the water logging. And eventually, when the water logs, it runs very heavily, causing the floods in India. It is mainly associated with the monsoon season, which intense and continuous rainfall occurs in many parts of the country. River basin like the Ganga, Brahmaputra, Godavari are very much important. See here, India is one of the most flood prone countries in the world, and about 40 million hectares of the land are affected by the floods. This is the thing you can see here, the chart, and especially during the monsoon season. Impact of the floods, damage to the crops and homes. What will happen if overflow of the water? It is certain that it will damage. Our life is a small on the earth when you compare it, the celestial bodies. Loss of life and livestock, spread of diseases. See, water will come with not just the damage; it will also bring the loss to the life. In what way? In leading to the diseases such as malaria, dengue, and cholera and diarrhea. Not just that, loss of life and livestock. It will take away all causing loss to the humans and animals. Dangerous it is. And will eventually become the homeless. Disruption of transport and communication. Railway lines, roads and communications network, making rescue operations and daily activities difficult. Change in landform. What is the change in landform? Floods deposit large amount of fertile sediments on the floodplains. This can be beneficial for agriculture. However, they can also soil erosion will be there. So yes, it one way it is correct. The other way it will be impactful very badly. It causes soil erosion and alter river courses. So flood management, then how to manage all the problems is like reducing damage. Early warning systems we have to maintain. See, 112 is a dialing emergency number where the flood occurs. We have to take attention, and they will maintain colors also with red, green and orange, like that. So accordingly the life will be taken a precaution step. It's like a preventive steps we will be taking not to damage our life. Proper planning and food control measures such as dams, embankments, reservoirs helps minimize damage of the life. So in this way we can control. Planning settlements wise, better drainage system we should first adopt, and urban planning should happen, and not to construct on the streamlines of the rivers and blocking that area, or else this planning should happen very properly in the urban areas, which will also which should also taken into consideration of drainage system, and regularly land use reduce the risk of flooding. So improving disaster preparedness. See, Bangalore is an example of this poor urban planning and the flood drainage systems poor. So public awareness we have to bring in, make the people get more educated. Emergency responses plans, evacuation drills when when the heavy rain is about to happen and the long time, then we have to alert the people and make the displacements from one place to another place. Thus the flood management and awareness is essential for protecting the lives. So in this way we can lessen the damage to the life of the plants, animals and humans. So here, why do cities experience more flooding than rural areas during the heavy rainfall? Concrete buildings. Answer is concrete buildings. Water won't sink within the ground, causing that is causing the floods on the roads heavily. Green cover is less. Undersized or blocked drainage system. Surface runoff more in cities, exceeding the capacity of whatever the capacity, it is getting exceeded and floating the cities. Man-made drains, poor water management leading to blocked pipes. Improved drainage we have to make it. Permeable surface also we have to make on the road so that the water can move it. This is the activity reasons. What you have to suggest some answers for that. And the carbon footprint, the last topic of this chapter. The carbon footprint refers to the total amount of the carbon dioxide, CO2 and other greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere as a result of human activities. What we have done something, then only the heat is captured into the atmosphere. These emissions affect the composition of the atmosphere and contribute to the global warming, which is not good for the humans. Carbon footprint is closely linked to energy use. Electricity, especially for fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, increasing carbon emissions. Transportation, car, buses and aeroplanes release large amount of carbon dioxide due to the burning. We should use public transport so that we can reduce this one. And daily human activities, cooking, we have we should use the pressure cooker so that the heating will not happen much. Electronic devices, once if it is used, we have to switch off. Waste generation and consumption of the goods and also contribute to the waste generation and the consumption of goods also contribute to the carbon emissions. We have to maintain sustainability. Waste offsets, transport, everything is been given clearly in this picture. Reuse, reduce, and recycle. We have to adopt this type of lifestyle. Using resources efficiently. How you have to reduce? Number one, number two, conserving the energy, and third is eco-friendly. Eco-friendly measures you have to take. Transportation, planting trees, reducing plastic use can significantly reduce the carbon. This is the only way where we can reduce the carbon emissions and increase the eco-friendly lifestyle. So Singapore, they have imposed the carbon tax. How much ever release the carbon and use much release the heat into the atmosphere, that's much tax has been imposed. That is a thing given over here. So here a small action taken by the individuals. If one individual start doing it, it will impact it will spread slowly and impact collectively. If every individual started doing this, it will impact collectively to the communities, and that community will have a great effect on the environment. So that is what everybody should learn, is the meaning of it. So we have so many activities here where LED, if we can switch over to the LEDs, we can and reduce the plastic, and we can use the shortened showers. Do not to waste runoff waters. In driving also, we should go by, if it is a nearby distance, we can go by walk. If it is cycle, better alternative. Like that, we have to plan so that our earth looks beautiful, makes us live on this earth as well. Thank you very much.